Rick. Oh my god, this makes me want to do great things.
I accidentally skipped our video. I was like, oh, here's our live stream. And then I was like, skip.
You blew it.
You blew
it! Marion Butts.
This is like some 80s sitcom shit.
Yeah, this is like 70s-ish. Highlighty. Standing tall. Let me retweet this.
How about we just let this ride all night?
All right, that sounds good. I could listen to this all night.
All right. Oh, it started up again. No, stop.
Stop being dramatic.
Google, you're out of control. You sick son of a bitch. Good evening. December 5th, 2018, week 14 of the NFL season.
Football. You know I love it.
It's been a weird week.
Yeah, it's been a weird. It's been a lot. There's a lot of things happening.
A lot of things happening. There's a lot
going on.
A lot of stuff going on. The great American hero George H.W. Bush died.
Yeah, he's dead.
So the world is a lot better off today.
I saw I saw a picture of Bob Dole trying to getting helped up to salute him.
Oh my god, is he still alive?
And I was like, Bob Dole's alive? I did not know Bob Dole was still alive. Remember Bob Dole? Bob Dole.
Oh man, Bob Dole's alive and yeah, wow. Norm Macdonald's career is dead, so think about that.
Oh, Norm. Bob Dole.
God. I don't think any of these kids know what
no,
they don't know.
They don't know
crazy
that.
Kids.
They don't know about Bob Dole.
They know Bob Dole from Simpsons reruns.
From season
from the Treehouse of Horror.
Whatever 1996, whatever that one was.
Yeah.
That was when he ran for president, right? Fucking Bob Dole.
Yeah, against
Clinton.
Clinton, yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't vote then. I was like 12.
But you voted on like Channel 1. Did you have that?
No. Wait, what?
The like homeroom TV network that they sometimes had in schools?
I didn't have that shit. We didn't have channels.
We didn't have channels. The thing was specifically just called Channel 1.
We didn't have this.
And they had it in some schools every morning. It's what was her name? I'm not going to say
Linda Ellerby.
No, I don't want to sound
Lisa Bonet.
Lisa Ling. See, I was going to say Lisa Ling, and I hope not to get it wrong because otherwise I would have sounded racist. But
yeah,
Lisa Ling was a host on Channel 1.
You're super racist. So.
And then she was like on The View and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember Lisa Ling. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was like one of the things. So in the morning, Lisa Ling gave us like our news.
Right.
And it was like, here's what's happening around the world. Like, it was very like MTV, Kurt Loder.
Man, that was like such a, oh man. There's a documentary called The Merchants of Cool about how MTV like packaged all that stuff and like sold it to kids. Like, it's pretty interesting. It's really depressing too, because it's like, oh, this is all just bullshit and everything's fucking terrible. But now it's now, and it's even worse. So
yes, MTV ran unchecked for so long that's how we got to where we are today.
That's a good theory. You could write a thesis about that. I bet it
could, but that's homework, and I don't like homework.
No, nobody does. I never did it. That's not true. I did it in homeroom like 5 minutes before class. I was like, this looks good enough for me.
Oh yeah, for sure. But not, that sounds like college homework though.
Yeah, no, it's not not papers. Like I'm not trying to write papers.
Doing my master's in music television circa 1994 to 1997.
You could do it. You could be a professor.
I need to be pre-TRL.
When Kennedy was a thing.
When was TRL on?
Like 98, I think.
Out of high school, 98. First episode was September 98. So it started my senior year.
Yeah, I was a freshman. No, you were not a. Yeah, you were 99, right? I was
class of 99.
I was a sophomore.
Oh my God, these pictures online of the stars of the era.
Like Britney Spears and those terrible like Britney Spears outfits that were awful.
Britney's great, don't you dare.
Yeah, but those outfits are not great.
And Miss Aguilera.
Oh man, the dirty.
Dirty. But now, like Ashley Simpson.
Oh God. Oh my God.
Not even the good Simpson.
I used to hate coming home and like watching that and just like waiting for like something good.
It's the only reason Kid Rock is a star.
Well, there's your first link to why things are so terrible now and why TRL did it. He's still around for some fucking reason.
He's running for Congress or something.
He always is threatening that, but he never does.
Detroit, the 616. Yeah, I'm coming for you. I got a beef with Eminem because he talks shit on Trump.
Yeah.
Somebody call Fred Durst.
Yeah. It's like football. You made fun of my team. I'm gonna get mad at you now.
Josh, by the way, I don't know if you know this. You and I are the only two people in the internet football league with winning records.
I saw that we're first and second place, and I'm in second place at 7 and 6. So
yeah, and I'm in first place at 10 and 3.
Everyone's just beating the crap out of everybody else. It's great,
but they're all losers.
They're all failures.
Me and Josh down to the wire.
It's gonna be a good playoffs. Playoffs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mel says I called out the wrong Detroit digits. That's true. Their zip code up there is like 8 Mile.
I thought it was Detroit-Rock City. That's what I thought it was.
Did you grow up in the Faygo projects?
I never saw that movie.
Aren't they from Detroit too?
I never saw that movie. I don't know.
The Insane Clown Posse.
Oh, are they from Detroit? Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. There's bugs are on my nuts. Remember that song? Insane Clown Posse.
They're from Detroit, Michigan as well. So you either grew up in Faygo or you grew up in 8 Mile or you grew up in Detroit Rock City. And those were the 3 zip codes.
Detroit Rock City. East Coast Elites.
East Coast Elites. That's me. Oh, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was born in the center of the universe.
Golden throne I have now. Look at this
nice.
thing.
That's beautiful.
No more fucking folding chair for this sap.
God damn. Now you're making me want to buy. I just bought a monitor, so I can't go buy one of those. I just bought a 144 hertz monitor. It's great.
Woo, 144. Careful, man. You're going to get super soap opera frames on that.
Well, I can see video games good. So it was fucking like the 60 hertz was fucking with my like shit. It was like making my eyes hurt.
Yo, let me tell you something, which I found a little bit ironic because we're talking about this now.
Yeah, sure. Why
not? So Tom Cruise and Chris McQuarrie did that like Twitter ad, which was great and awesome. But I watched Mission Impossible. I rented it last night because I was like, oh, that's right. It's out to rent now. Like, cool. So I rented it for like $3. And the whole movie is awesome, shot great.
Right.
But the end, you know, in the trailers where they show all that like helicopter shit.
Yeah.
So that whole helicopter chase is shot in IMAX.
Right.
So the rest of the movie's in widescreen and shot like a movie, but that is in IMAX, and it doesn't look like movie IMAX. It looks like
like documentary IMAX.
Documentary IMAX. So like it's really jarring to go from like expert lighting on Simon Pegg, and then Tom Cruise is just like, I could like reach out and poke him.
That's like that fucking high frame rate shit in The Hobbit when it just shifts gears into like fucking like GoPro vision, and you're like, what the hell am I like, what is this?
Yeah.
They need to not do that. They have to stop. Like they shouldn't do that. It doesn't make sense. Why would you do that?
I know. I mean, I get that they want like now we could do it in IMAX, and then it helps sell more tickets and does the things. And it looked amazing. But the problem was, instead of it like what worked so well for Dark Knight is that whole open was in IMAX, right, and then you went to widescreen.
Right. Then it switches, so you forget.
This was going back and forth, like they're like talking to each other on radio, and it's like cut to Tom Cruise, and it's like super widescreen, crystal clear, and then you know cut to fucking Ving Rhames, and like
it looks fake. It looks like the movie's like fake, like a fake movie.
Well, yeah, it takes you out of it, right?
Yeah.
But I will say this: Fallout, the new best one,
better than 3.
Let me tell you.
I hate that movie.
It takes all of those things and it ties them all up, and then it's like now we're reset back at 0 again. We're cool.
That's good. That's what people have to do with J.J. Abrams. They have to reset all of his bullshit.
JJ's gonna save Star Wars, Josh.
Yeah, this one's gonna be good. It's gonna make a lot of sense. Why are they not talking about football?
Okay. All right, Jadzik. You know what? I was gonna not do this to you guys, but since you are very rude to me in chat with all caps, we're going to have now a moment of silence to make this even more awkward and not about football.
Yeah.
Because this afternoon we had to put our cat to sleep. So
JB.
Right now, counting down 3, 2, 1, moment of silence.
Cat ears.
And we're back.
That's how you turn it around on
That's
them.
how you turn it on them. All right. We had some good footballs though. Let's actually get into it.
Some good footballs happened.
There was some real exciting games last week.
I watched Red Zone for the 1 o'clock games, and then I took a super long nap, so I didn't see the 4 o'clock games.
I'll admit that I was watching football for most of the day, and then the Eagles game was so boring on Monday night, I almost passed out.
I loved it. I loved how boring it was. I was like, this is great. I don't care about any of this because no one is...
He threw that interception in the end zone, and I was like, good night. The game's over. They lost.
Yeah.
And then somehow Mark Sanchez didn't win them the game.
I love that Washington is just like super cursed. I love it. I hate Washington so goddamn much.
They shouldn't have built the stadium on an Indian burial ground.
They also shouldn't have a cursed ass, racist ass name.
I swear Dan Snyder must be like some reincarnated like snake oil salesman. And
from like
that's the reason why he thinks he has to keep sticking it to Native Americans.
My favorite thing about Washington this week was the explanation as to why they picked up Reuben Foster.
Well, we knew things you don't know.
They heard a different story, which I totally believe, and is totally not a made up thing that they made up. Totally not. Totally just a real thing.
Kareem Hunt is totally sorry that he did it, and not totally sorry that he got caught.
Right. He totally is sorry. He wants to move on from it. Well, yeah, I would want to move on from it too.
Yeah, I'd want to be able to get a job again myself.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Don't kick a lady in an elevator, dog.
Why are you kicking people? Just stop. Stop kicking people, man. Whatever.
Torrey Smith said it best, though. People don't care about domestic violence till there's a video.
No, he's right. He's right. And people don't care about it. And if it was like your mailman, like you wouldn't care, right?
Let me tell you how NFL domestic violence is even worse slightly. Is former Cowboys defensive
lineman, I heard this.
Greg Hardy has been in MMA since being excommunicated from the league
for putting like guns on people's temples.
Yeah, and putting hands on women and stuff like that. Yeah. And UFC has signed him up for a fight, like a bunch of idiots. And they put him on the same card as a woman who is a domestic violence survivor.
That's pretty smart. That's smart. They don't care, man. They don't care. That's money. They just want their money. Everyone wants their money.
Yeah. And just like, that's why the Chiefs sat on this other stuff for so long. They're like, well, you know what? If we don't tell anybody, maybe he could play football and sell us some tickets.
My favorite thing was the report that like they didn't know, and they were finding out in real time like we were. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
That's whatever. It's the NFL is fucking crazy.
Doop, 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 doop. All right, now it's time for listener questions brought to you by LinkedIn. Build and manage your professional relationships online. LinkedIn, connecting the world's professionals one internet connection at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some listener questions tonight. Seasons beatings from Jads of all trades.
Seasons beatings.
That was the hashtag this week. Ever been ice fishing, like real ice fishing, in a shanty with a wood burning stove, keeping it 80 degrees inside and using tip ups, not foolishly sitting on a bucket exposed to the winter elements?
No.
Yeah, can't say that I have.
We don't really have like winter like that here. Like we have like bad snow, but we don't get like ice fishing weather.
Yeah, that's like sometimes ponds will freeze.
Yeah.
And you can like sort of walk on them. Sometimes people go ice skating a little bit, but we don't have like fishing holes.
Yeah, we can't like go on the lake and like walk on it. It's not that cold.
My experiences with ice fishing are limited to grumpy old men, grumpier old men, and reindeer games.
Oh my god, I remember renting reindeer games in like 2002. That was great.
The most improbable casino heist triple cross of all time. Of all time.
Look, you could tell me anything. And I'd be like, yeah, that happened in that movie. I have no idea what happened in that movie. I've seen it, but I don't.
All right, that'll be a different podcast. We'll talk about that maybe the next time I'm on the Continue Cast.
The Reindeer Games podcast.
I'll bring that up. The Reindeer Games podcast.
Oh man, I think I mixed that up with the Sum of All Fears. They're both Ben Affleck, so
they are both Ben Affleck. They could not be more different.
One of them, the nuke goes off in Baltimore.
Yes.
Who would know what? Who could tell the difference?
That's rough.
Sorry, Baltimore. At least we're not making fun of Detroit anymore, Mel.
8 Mile.
Detroit Rock City.
Our second question also comes from Jads. This one from Twitter with the hashtag Seasons Beatings. Can I get a letter of recommendation from you both for my Packers head coach application? I feel my baseball knowledge is more than applicable as experience. Thanks.
Don't you guys already own half of them or whatever? Isn't that the lie that they tell you guys, that the fans own the Packers?
Jads, how many shares of the Packers do you own?
Yeah.
I'll wait.
I'll take my answer off air.
I'll take our answer off the
air. Fucking.
Oh, we're seriously waiting, Jads.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know how many shares of the Packers. Zero.
Oh my gosh.
Oh well.
That's too bad. I almost got one for a family friend for Christmas a couple of years ago. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word.
Holiday time.
Because you people can't transfer the shares.
Yeah.
but you can sell your share as like, here, I'm just selling it as
right,
like
you can shares,
as
right?
a prop, right?
Yeah, you can't like trade like shares, I don't think.
Right.
To like
Well,
other
yeah, because they're
people.
not. Yeah, they're nothing.
Yeah.
They're literally nothing. It's just you paying the Packers money so they could put in 5 more seats and sell more cheese.
They're never gonna leave Green Bay. Like they were like, we're just never gonna leave. So who cares? And we're never gonna build another stadium because how could we?
And what's funny, Jads, I also think the shares thing is dumb, except I don't think it's dumb for us people who don't live there, and we can't have one, so I want one.
Yeah, I want to own like 1/1000th of the Eagles.
Yes. Dude, if they did that, can you imagine? Oh my god.
Man, no, it wouldn't. You couldn't. People would like go crazy. People would go crazy.
The IPO would tank. There'd be too many.
People would be like, these are worth less than Deutschmarks after World War One.
Hey,
can I buy a loaf of bread with my Eagles shares? I've got 40 million of them.
And then Mel writes in, how do we know if you're doing a show or not? Well, ta-da! Mel. Here we are.
Great question, Mel. You never know. That's my secret, Mel. We're never doing a show.
I'm always never doing a show.
Always never doing a show. That's actually really accurate.
Josh, that's actually a good question for you, though. How much of your life is not spent online these days?
So much so that like I get really cranky if I'm online too much. Like I start to get crazy. I just want to sit in the dark and like with just a candle, like the most primitive ass shit, like in a cave somewhere. No, I like my free my free time. You know, I like a leisurely sip of a whiskey now and then. You know.
Okay. All right.
Not enough is what I'm saying.
Not enough. Well, those have been this week's listener questions brought to you by LinkedIn, where you can build and manage professional relationships online. LinkedIn, connecting the world's
There you go.
Which brings us to the second best segment of the week. The Monster Game of the Week, brought to you by Monster Ultra, 0 calories, 0 sugar, ultra refreshment.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Beautiful.
Monster.
Delicious.
Back on that ultra red trip tonight.
It's like, that's how I could gauge what kind of mood you're going to be in.
Yes. Yeah. What if that was the case? What if I used monsters like mood rings?
That'd be awesome.
Like walking around. Oh shit, Luke's drinking purple today.
That's how we're gonna get a sponsorship. Keep that up. He's horny. He's drinking purple or whatever purple means.
Ooh, sparkling apple cider. Look at Janwich over here pretending to drink champagne like a 14-year-old.
Curtis Janwich. I don't know if I've ever had a sparkling apple cider.
I remember in like 7th or 8th grade for our winter dance, and like the moms were like, we got you some sparkling cider, and it comes in like those fake champagne bottles.
Yeah, the big bottles. Oh man, your moms were cool. My mom never would have done that. She'd have been like, don't drink, and I'd have been like, okay.
But it's not
okay, Mom.
Yeah,
I'll do whatever you say, Mom. I'm totally a good boy. What's the first thing you ever got smashed on?
Oh, Yukon Jack.
That's a rough one.
Yukon Jack messed me up something first.
I believe I drank like 7 or 8 Zimas and Woodchuck ciders.
Woodchuck ciders. So you're definitely drinking with a bunch of girls that night, and that's not a knock on women. That's just, I went to college, and all the girls wanted to drink was Woodchuck cider.
That's what it was. I was with the girl, and I was like, I'll just drink like 10 of these for the first time I ever drank. Also, I woke up and I was like, oh boy, I wish I was dead.
Yeah. What happened on Yukon Jack is another podcast.
Oh my god.
That'll be airing right after the poop cast when Mike Sadorf comes back east.
Back way down east. He's coming back I think 2 weeks from now.
Well, I guess you know what that means. We're doing a poop cast.
A poop cast.
We're finally gonna do it after all these years.
I don't think I have any good poop stories. I don't think I have any. Oh, I have a few, I guess. Yeah. There's a few.
Okay. Well, anyway, the Monster Game of the Week brought to you by Monster Ultra Zero, 0 calories, 0 sugar, ultra refreshment. I couldn't pick just one this week.
Okay.
There were two guys. Their point totals were like identical. And one of them had a tremendous game for Kansas City. His name is Travis Kelce.
Never heard of him. Is he good?
Catches, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. No big deal. But I had to include Keenan Allen on this list as well because the Chargers came east and put it on the Steelers.
That was a good game.
That was an incredible watch.
Also, what's his name? James Conner is like sprained ankle or foot or whatever is going on with him.
It's like a high sprain, so he might be done for the rest of the regular season.
Yeah.
Which is something we'll talk about in segment number 3.
Just segueing a bit. Foreshadow segue.
Keenan Allen, 14 catches, 148 yards, and 1 touchdown. What I liked so much and why I had to put Keenan Allen on here besides the San Diego thing is that they kept putting a linebacker
on Keenan
Allen all night.
That's brilliant.
And I was like, it didn't work in the first quarter.
No.
Why are you doing it in the second, third, and fourth quarters?
It'll work, Luke. It will work.
He's the team's number 1 receiver. The dude
he's good as fuck.
He's so good. Imagine going anywhere and being like, we're going to put one of the slowest guys on your bestest guy.
It's so crazy. It just might work.
God damn.
Yeah. I don't know.
Stupid.
I don't know.
But both of those guys had the Monster Week. So congratulations to you two. Your cases of Monster are not being sent. I'm keeping them.
Their cases of Monster are at their local grocery store where Monster is.
They probably can't even drink Monster. It's probably not allowed.
It's probably like really bad for them.
No, I think they have to probably drink like the Gatorade energy drink.
Oh, yeah. Like contractually, you mean?
Yeah, who knows? Because they're not allowed to own like other things besides Bose. Whatever.
Really?
Movie? Yeah. Dude, like football players can't be like seen without like the Bose headphones for whatever reason.
But like they can own other headphones.
Yeah, but you can't like
bring them out.
You can't have them at a game.
I would need like a personal assistant to like gather my shit together. I'd be like, I don't want to deal with any of this crap. I'd be like, you figure this out. I'll pay you like, I don't know, if I'm like making a shitload of money, I'll pay you like $100,000 a year. Just figure this shit out.
Figure it out for me.
If I'm making like $4 million a year, like fuck
lay out my clothes.
Yeah.
Who sponsored me this week? Nike and Under Armour. You got it, kids.
Dress me.
Dress me. All right. That was the Monster Game of the Week brought to you by Monster Ultra, 0 calories, 0 sugar, ultra refreshment. We will sell out for anyone.
Hell yeah.
All right. And now, of course, here we are in segment number 3, the Waiver Wire Watch, which is brought to you by Happy Death Day to you. This February, death makes a comeback, and so can you with the potential these players might bring to your fantasy football team.
It gets better every week.
Before I say this first one, I want to hear your thoughts on whether you think I'm crazy.
I read it and I think you're crazy. Yeah, I mean, like you said, are you this desperate? Yeah, there might be some people who are that desperate.
So the pick here is at quarterback. Only 8.7% of people own this guy in ESPN standard football leagues. Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen.
He did look good, though.
He's had back-to-back games with 25 or more points. They're playing the Jets.
They're bad.
And if I recall correctly, I saw this weekend the top 3 rushing quarterbacks this year are Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen.
Well, I mean, he's got to do something, right? He's kind of like the Wentz, like Wentz's first year. Just run it. Just fuck it. Like, what are you gonna? Who's he throwing to? I think the Bills released.
They released Kelvin Benjamin.
Kelvin Benjamin. Yeah, they released like they're just like, we don't have any wide receivers anymore.
As Booger McFarland said, he is one Popeye's biscuit away from being a tight end.
Did he get money from Popeyes? I hope so.
I hope so. But yeah, Kelvin Benjamin. Yeah, bye-bye.
See ya, Calvin. But
seriously, the Eagles should go sign him.
Just get him.
Just get him.
We need more tight ends.
But yes, Josh, the final note here I have for Josh Allen is also, are you this desperate that there is literally no other quarterback that you could get but Josh Allen?
You could be.
But the potential is there if you need a guy.
Yeah, I mean, roll the dice, man. Fuck it.
Why not? All right. Following that up, a guy we've been recommending for a few weeks, but still somehow only owned in 50% of leagues. Guys, get with the Lamar Jackson program.
He's it, right? He's got to be their quarterback next year, right?
I believe next year, yes. What's interesting this week is even though Joe Flacco still hasn't practiced, there's rumors that the two of them might split snaps.
That's terrible. That's a terrible idea.
I think Jackson is getting the go-ahead. They won 3 in a row. There's no reason to
there's no reason.
Jam Flacco back in there.
Yeah.
70 yards rushing and a touchdown in the last 2 games. Still not a lot of great passing yards, but he's thrown for a touchdown or 2. He's got the yardage. He's putting up points. He can help your team if you need him.
Yeah, just in the red zone alone, he'll run it in. Like, he's another like kind of like Josh Allen, where it's like he's gonna run it. He's not gonna, like, there's no one really to throw to. Is Jeremy Maclin still on that team? Like, I don't even know who their wide receivers are.
No, he's not. No.
Kenny Galladay? No. What's his name?
Kenny Stills.
Kenny Stills, is that him?
Kenny Stills and Nash, yes.
All right. Yes. He'll run it in. Just run it. Don't throw it.
Michael Crabtree is there.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. Think about that. All right. In the running back position.
This is a good one.
Everywhere you look, we're not telling you something you probably haven't already seen elsewhere. But even, I can't deny the fact. Jalen Samuels, the #1 free agent, you have to go after this week.
Yeah, just grab him up, man.
Yeah, Connor's out. He's already been ruled out. He is 100% not playing.
Yeah.
Samuels jumped into the game last week, scored a touchdown, had some decent running, to close out the game. Here's my thing about this guy. You can use him because the Pittsburgh rushing attack has been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you don't need him, get him so the other guys hunt in the playoff hunt can't.
Fuck them over.
Be the guy that signs the guy so no one else can have him.
Yeah. Eagles the shit out of it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Oh boy.
And I like I like him this week because they're playing Oakland.
Sure, that's a great matchup.
And I think that matchup is good. And if Connor ends up being out for longer, the week after that, they're against New England, who is okay, but not world beater.
Right.
And New Orleans. And then, most seasons are not in the playoffs anymore by week 17. But, so he's got a couple favorable matchups in the rushing game coming up if he plays.
My only worry with him is, like, can he keep, how many running backs can the Steelers put out there and just have them be great? You know what I mean? Like,
well, the advantage that he'll have is that they have to cover the wide receivers.
That's true. And their line's pretty good. Their line is a solid rush line. But yeah, like
you can't stack the box because then you're leaving Juju Smith-Schuster and Antonio Brown in one-on-one coverage.
The most ludicrous thing I heard all week was from what's his name? The guy I hate so much, Chris Collinsworth. Yeah, he said that Antonio Brown wasn't looking very Antonio Brown-like this year, and I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard him say.
You're right. The guy fell off his pace of being like a 1,800-yard receiver.
I don't know, like what, like I don't even know. I like literally like looked at the monitor and just was like, I was like, what the fuck? I like couldn't process it because it's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard in my life. That dude catches touchdowns all the time,
Yeah,
all the time.
I think he's just not getting the volume, we'll say.
Yeah, but
that's right. So he's not racking up the PPRs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is he here? Antonio Brown. Yeah, the last 2 weeks and the first 2 weeks he's been great, and otherwise he's been. So if we consider Antonio Brown like the elitist of elite receivers, right, because of his performances, like he is now just like a great number one instead of elite Antonio.
Right, like he's not like Jerry Rice. Yeah,
but that's still like better than literally anyone else.
Everybody else, yeah.
Like, except maybe, Hopkins or whatever. Chris Collinsworth is sometimes smart, but most of the time stupid.
I hate him.
He is actually making me like Troy Aikman more and more.
I love Troy Aikman comparatively. Hell yeah. I'll take Troy Aikman every game if I really never.
What I like most about Troy Aikman too is how on social media now he's just tired of everybody's shit. So when people call him out for things he said on the air, and he'll like respond to them on a tweet and just be like, yeah, well, you know what? Here's the actual thing that happened, and you're an idiot.
That's why Twitter is great. Like that's what Twitter is meant for. I love it. That's great.
Terrific. All right, second running back I like this week, owned in 22.5% of leagues in ESPN, Rashad Penny.
Nobody owns him. That's surprising.
Yeah, before Carson came back, their running back situation was like, I don't know.
Yeah, nobody knows, right?
Mike Davis, Rashad Penny, who I don't know. And while Carson is still the number one, he does have that dislocated finger. You don't know how much that's going to come into play. Even in limited action last week, Penny was pretty good. So I like him for your roster. Some potential there.
Yeah.
For,
that team weirds me out, man. I don't know what to think of that team ever. The Seahawks are like maybe one of the most annoying teams in the NFL.
Dude, they all started drinking that Russell Wilson Jesus water.
Oh my God. My herpes are gone.
What's his water called? Where is it? Russell
Miracle Water, right? Is it called Miracle? Recovery water?
Oh, it actually is called recovery water. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's on the nose. Anointed by Jesus himself.
How much is recovery water?
I mean, it should be like $1 million if it's so fucking great.
It's unavailable on Amazon right now.
Oh no, it's sold out. Oh, we gotta go magic some more water. Be right back. While we go to the fucking creek and fill up these dumb water cans.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Do they not make it anymore?
I'm trying to find it. It's like social nature.
They might not make it anymore.
Water, open to residents of the United States. I don't. Where do you buy this?
Fucking, you gotta know a guy. You gotta know Russell Wilson, and he'll give you some from his dick.
Yeah. Forbes calls it a oh shit, I lost the quote. Where'd it go?
A scam?
I scrolled down the page and it like popped up an ad. Forbes calls it a pseudoscientific concoction of nanobubbles and electrolytes.
That's putting it lightly. Pseudoscientific
Nanobubble.
nano bubbles, like really small bubbles.
Nanobubbles.
Sure, that's a thing. Why not?
You know who else is drinking recovery water? Chris Godwin.
Nobody's getting him.
He's still only in 50% of teams.
What the fuck? I'm gonna go pick him up right now.
Told you last week, telling you again.
Yeah.
Get Chris Godwin, dog.
I'm getting on it. I'm on it. I'm going.
We can't have him in our league because I already have him.
No, I'm going on my ESPN league.
Yes, good. Get him before Mel does. She's running over there right now.
She's trying to beat me.
But yeah, like the New Orleans defense doesn't scare me. Tampa Bay quarterbacks are going to be throwing it.
Yeah.
Get this guy. He is emerging this season into what we expected him to be when he was drafted.
Somebody has him. Shit.
All right. Well, if you can't get him, Josh, might I recommend a gentleman only owned in 10% of ESPN leagues, and that's Mr. Dante Pettis of the San Francisco gold mining 49ers.
I've never heard of Dante Pettis.
Dante Pettis, the last 2 games, 4+ catches and a touchdown. He actually had 2 last week. Marquise Goodwin has been questionable / hurt for the last couple games. Pettis has really stepped up. Mullins likes to throw it to him.
Yeah.
I think this week he has a third consecutive nice game.
I am going to look up Dante Pettis. Let's see. Pettis. There he is.
Yeah, and this week home against Denver, so yeah. The Denver defense is up and down.
Yeah, they're a mystery to me as well.
But I like Pettis in this matchup this week. Good. If you're in need of a tight end, I have two guys for you, just like we haven't had at every other position all season long.
Nice.
Number 1 on the list this week, only owned in 2.4% of leagues.
That's crazy.
Rhett Ellison.
Sounds like that guy was born in the 20s.
Oh, Rhett Ellison. Yeah.
It's me, Rhett Ellison, for the CBS News Network.
Ellison is the number 2 tight end in New York, the football Giants, New York.
Right.
Excuse me. Got a little monster going on today.
Monstery.
With Ingram out, he's been targeted, even though he's not it's definitely not an elite tight end, but I was going to say he's not a primary weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Odell Beckham, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, there's too many other. Yeah.
He's had some pretty good games filling in for an injured Ingram, but is he going to win you the season? No. Is he going to get about 4 catches and 40, 50 yards? Probably.
Yeah.
So, do you want
6
to 10 points?
Yeah.
Or, that's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah, 8 points for a tight end like that, like you're in desperate need of a tight end. It's great. It's great.
Right. And that's the point. You're in desperate need. These are guys that are available.
Right.
And the problem with tight end right now is
the ceiling is crazy high and the floor is crazy low.
And everybody who is not Travis Kelce or Zach Ertz has been so up and down this season.
It's bananas.
You have guys that, like David Njoku looked like he was going to have his breakout season this year, and he's basically vanished.
I don't understand. Is it that teams don't know how to use tight end? Like I don't. Why are teams just not using tight end like the Chiefs and the Eagles and the Patriots? Why are they not doing this?
I don't know. Some of them try, and then they do it for a little bit, and then they're like, "Okay, that was cool. Next."
Keep doing it.
Yeah, man.
Keep doing it.
With that in mind, also only owned in 15% of leagues, and we've brought this gentleman up several times before. New York Jets, Chris Herndon.
Herndon.
He is one of those guys that was like, oh, hey, look at me, I'm here, I'm a good tight end catching red zone targets, and then he kind of disappeared for a little bit.
Yeah,
but he's active in the offense. He is starter. He is reliable.
mm-hmm.
But if you don't have Travis Kelce or Zach Ertz or even who is the guy that went to Eric Ebron,
right?
Who suddenly is a world beater now that he left Detroit.
Yeah.
Good luck, because tight ends are bad this year.
It's amazing. It's amazing how weird this season has been. It's just one of those weird seasons, and tight end is like the epitome of how weird this season is. I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, and I mean, I could see it every week too when I'm doing the fantasy football challenge.
Yeah,
is all these tight ends that we have to pick, they're trash.
They're horrible. They're horrible.
And every once in a while you get like Tyler Higbee comes in and gets one touchdown,
and you're like, oh my god, Tyler Higbee.
Yeah.
It's like wild. A miracle. It's crazy. Yeah,
it's wild. But yes, those were this week's Waiver Wire Watch, brought to you by Happy Death Day to you. Whether you need a great date night movie or just want to see what happens when Groundhog Day meets Final Destination, be sure to check out Happy Death Day to You in theaters February 14th.
Great.
I need another sip here. I'm getting a little dry-throated. I forgot we got our new sponsor for this segment.
I love this sponsor.
Oh, and now it's time for the Daily Fantasy Pricks. Whoa.
Hey! Yeah! Let's do that.
Let me hang on a second here.
Well, I guess they're not going to be our sponsor anymore.
And now it's time for Daily Fantasy Picks, brought to you by Dude Wipes. Are you tired of using rough, unreliable toilet paper to clean your nethers? Dude Wipes are fragrance-free, moisturized towelettes that will get you clean and have you feeling refreshed after a hard day on the throne. All right, that was good.
Was that Rhett Ellison doing the read of that?
Yes, Rhett Ellison. From CBS Radio Network.
CBS Radio Network.
10:26 a.m.
The Hindenburg has just crashed.
All right. It's getting a little hard to find picks this time of the season
for this,
because there are some guys that I think are very overpriced that are just going to do okay.
Yeah. And
then there are some guys that I think will just do okay, but they're like rock bottom and like you wouldn't want to play them.
Yeah.
So it was really hard this week to find a good mix.
Yeah, it's extreme. I was thinking like of going for like Thielen, and I was like, well, Thielen might just have like an okay game, and I'm not going to spend like $9,000 on Adam Thielen. Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, is that worth the risk? I don't know. Don't know the answer.
I don't know either. I do know that even though he's not playing, John Connor was still like 7,100. So
yeah,
good luck with all of that. All right, so a quarterback. I like Aaron Rodgers at 6,000 now that he's free from the shackles of Mike McCarthy.
Oh, McCarthyism is dead.
I don't know which side of the Rodgers versus McCarthy feud you fall on. But I fall on the side that Mike McCarthy should have been fired like 3 weeks ago.
So. Yeah, I think somebody might have been Rodney Harrison. I hate to agree with Rodney Harrison, but I think it was him who was like, I think it's like the Andy Reid situation where it's like, your time is up, and it's like that you lost the team, and you're just not gonna like he'll get another job, but like
I really hated everyone being respectful. Like how?
Yeah, who cares?
It's a job. are you not performing in your job? You're fired. They don't wait till the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't. There's no like jump starting on like you can't get a head start on a NFL coaching job. Like there's 32 teams. Like 32 people are qualified to do this. Like it's not like, you know what I mean? There's not like a whole lot of like, it's not like college where you got to like get the guy, right? Like,
hey, here's what I think. I think Jimmy Harbaugh's coming back.
I read that too, and I was like, oh man. You think he's for the Packers though?
They're gonna have a vacancy.
Oh no. Is he? That's gonna be either a terrible idea or a not great idea.
I think it's gonna be awesome. Drinking all that milk and dairy country.
Wait, doesn't he like not eat certain things because he believes like it like kills you or something?
All I know is that the dude just drinks like vitamin D whole milk nonstop.
There's something he doesn't eat because he thinks it like makes you die quicker.
What doesn't Jim Harbaugh eat?
It's like crazy. It's like a crazy thing. I forget what it is though.
Jim Harbaugh is not a fan of eating chicken.
Chicken?
Because it's a nervous bird.
That's what it was. I don't know of any bird that's not a nervous bird.
But you don't eat most other birds.
Speak for yourself. I love a good blue jay.
Speaking of Blue Jays, for 5,800, I really like Baker Mayfield this week.
The Toronto Blue Jays.
Of the Toronto Blue Jays.
That's a great pick for him. He's cheap as fuck, though.
58 feels cheap for him, right?
Yeah.
Now, this pick.
This is insane.
It is and it isn't.
I think it's insane.
For 5,400, you can have Carson Wentz this week.
Yeah, his numbers are great.
I think that's a good price for Carson Wentz. I think that's a good price this week. I think they're feeling themselves a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
And this rematch will go a little differently. But I understand why Carson Wentz is 5,400 because of the last couple games where he's looked really shaky and gotten bailed out by some like good plays.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to take him a year, right, to get his leg back. It's been a year, like next week or whatever.
Right.
I think.
Yeah. So you're looking at full strength Carson Wentz for like the final 3 games of the season. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think moving on, just as like an Eagles wise perspective, like I think if this is Carson Wentz playing shaky, Carson Wentz is a god. Because like if this is a shaky quarterback, if this is how shaky he gets, his ceiling is like insane. I think 5,400 though is like really low. Like I don't know. That's a good deal. I believe.
I think it is a good deal, you know. But additionally, Dallas's defense pretty much handled Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And I forget, who did they play last week? The Cowboys played
the Saints. It was Thursday.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're right.
It feels like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago. Yeah. God. But they handled the Saints.
Yeah, which is weird.
Handled the Eagles defensively.
Right.
So, you know, while I am picking Carson Wentz for my fantasy team for the challenge at 5,400, I do understand the pricing here.
I get it, and I'm definitely super biased because like,
oh, of course,
it's Eagles. So.
Now Marcus Mariota at 4,900 is a very interesting proposition.
Yeah,
he's the cheapest legitimate starter,
right?
That, you know, I mean, Nick Mullins is down there, and
he's back up,
but whatever. But you know, they're playing Jacksonville. Now, Jacksonville defense has not been amazing this year,
and it's a Thursday game, right?
It's a Thursday game. They did just handle their business against Indianapolis.
Yeah,
you know, they held Andrew Luck. I think Andrew Luck is a better quarterback than Marcus Mariota. But Tennessee has had those games.
I know,
right?
It's like, who knows? I don't know.
for what you're paying for Mariota, the risk reward might be really great.
It might be really great, or it might be really like,
or you might get exactly what you paid for.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know, but he's the cheapest legit starter, and I almost went with him, but I was like, oh, I just can't.
Well, so you and I both picked Wentz at 5,400, and I was like, maybe I should switch to Mariota, but my thinking then was no, because of that reason you just said. Like, you could just get Marcus Mariota like throwing like one touchdown for like 159 yards. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That could be the fucking Marcus Mariota. And like, I think the risk reward for Wentz is way higher than the Mariota. For 500 more, it's like,
for 500 more, the ceiling on Wentz is greater.
Crazy high. Yeah.
At running back, Phil Lindsay, 6,300. That blows my mind that he's cheap like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap for
considering
him.
the seasons he's having, and he's much cheaper than a bunch of other running backs that he is, he's hanging with point wise. He's just hanging with all those guys.
This is where like the gambling aspect of this is like fascinating to me. I just don't think he's like a name yet, and I think that Denver has a lot to do with that too. Where it's like, well, he's a Denver running back, like whatever,
Yeah, I mean, the other thing to consider this week too is Denver's playing San Francisco,
right?
And you would think that would make his price go a little higher just because of who San Francisco is right now,
right?
But 6,300 I like a lot.
Yeah,
I like Lamar Miller for 5,100.
Yeah, he's like durable and reliable.
I thought I know who Houston was playing. Oh, they're playing Indianapolis. So,
right.
He's had a couple 100-yard games. I think he has another one this week. Whether or not he gets a touchdown, I don't know, but I think he's going to get the yardage.
Right.
Interestingly, at 4,400, we have the mystery that has become Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, man.
For weeks after Devontae Freeman went down, looked good. He looked good. He didn't look great.
Yeah.
He didn't look poor, but he looked good. And for like the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's been like, do you even exist?
That's sort of the Falcons, though, right? I mean, it might be like a Falcons problem too. Like that team is just like, they're just done. Like they're toast. I don't know what's going on. They're really
they lost a lot of guys on defense. I mean, a lot of teams lose a lot of guys, but I think losing those guys in like week 1 against the Eagles really just like deflated them.
Yeah. Also, they're still upset that Sherman marched to the sea. That might be it. Do you guys think that that's it?
So Tevin Coleman at 4,400 is an interesting but very, very risky pick.
That's a super risky pick, even though he's 4,400. I would say like 3,400. I'd be like, sure, why not? Right?
Yeah.
At 44.
Now, the cheapest starting guy, of course, Jalen Samuels, 3,700. Basically getting no credit from DraftKings. Yeah,
anyone.
I couldn't remember the name of the league that we use, but DraftKings. For 3,700, Jalen Samuels seems like the best investment this week,
exactly.
By far.
That's the cheapest, like easiest 100 yards you'll see, right? Like they're gonna run, like they are going to. It's only a matter if he scores or if he breaks a few. Like, do it, fucking just pick him because like it's so fucking cheap. Like. You'd be stupid not to.
Oh, we had a question coming in hot here in the chat. All right, for a flex position, Josh, would you like Josh Gordon, Cortland Sutton, now that Emmanuel Sanders is done for the year?
Okay.
Or Justin Jackson?
Who's Justin Jackson?
Justin Jackson is he is
Chargers.
Third string running back, so technically he might be the starter over Austin Eckler because it looks like Gordon is going to be out again, and Eckler did Jackson looked okay last week against the Steelers.
Right.
I'm
Who's
leaning
the first
towards
one?
Josh Gordon.
Yeah, Josh
Gordon. In a flex this week for sure. To me, he is the most consistent out of all those players.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm going to play devil's advocate, though.
Go for it.
I almost picked Josh Gordon because I was like, I need a kind of a good wide receiver for like a decent price. And then I saw that Miami or New England was playing in Miami, and Miami is like Tom Brady kryptonite when he goes down there. He like sucks dicks in Miami.
That is true. That is true.
I bailed on him.
You know, but here is the last 4 games for Josh Gordon. 5 for 130 and a touchdown, 4 for 80 and nothing.
Yeah.
5 for 70 and 3 for 58 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
So he is performing.
Right.
And Cortland Sutton is not. Like the most catches he's had all season came last week, and that was 4.
Yeah, you'd be rolling the dice on those other 2 guys, like hard dice rolls on those other.
Who do you trust more? Do you trust Tom Brady more, or do you trust Case Keenum more?
Yeah, it's Josh. It's just easily Josh Gordon.
So, especially in a flex, like I take the gamble on Gordon for sure.
Yeah.
Now back to the daily fantasy picks. At 7,800, I really like DeAndre Hopkins this week.
Yeah,
I think that is incredibly low for a player of his caliber compared to what other wide receivers are costing in this thing. Antonio, Juju, Thielen. I think Hopkins at 78 is like an unbelievable steal.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah. Oh, look who's next.
Oh, it's Keenan Allen for 74, which is even more ridiculous of a steal.
Well, maybe they'll put a linebacker on him again.
God.
Did he score the touchdown when they were offsides? Was that his touchdown?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they're like, well, it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Maybe
the other 13 catches didn't count.
That didn't count. Yeah, they were all so flukes.
But Keenan Allen is playing tremendously right now. Yeah. If I recall, I don't know why I keep closing this fucking page.
Because you're an idiot.
I am an idiot.
Got it.
A little out of sorts this week.
Mel's asking a question, and I hate it. I think that's a question, Mel.
Yeah.
Mel's...
But here we go. Ready? Keenan Allen, 4 straight games with a touchdown, 5 straight games with at least 6 catches.
Okay.
So think about that. And think about him only costing 7,400, and compare his last 5 weeks to the last 5 weeks of the guys that cost more than him.
I'm telling you, man, something with DraftKings has to do with like NFL market size. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like that number for him makes no sense to me, other than like nobody really gives a fuck about the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
Right? And that like maybe people aren't going to bet enough on it. Like the betting lines are lower because people aren't going to bet on him. I don't know. I'm like super trying to make sense of like a illogical thing. And I don't know if there is even a logic to it, or maybe a fucking hamster picks the numbers. I don't know. You know what I mean? Who fucking knows, dude?
A hamster picks the numbers. Sorry. What does Mel want to know?
She wants to know who to start at quarterback. Stafford.
I'm staying away from Stafford against the Rams.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Even
Carr.
Stafford has been very down this year. Derek Carr is one of those guys that's going to give you 30, or he's going to give you 8.
Yeah, I don't know about Derek Carr.
Do you think he's going to get 30 against Pittsburgh, or do you think he's going to get 8?
I think he's going to get 5.
Yeah. And Matt Ryan,
he's still upset about Sherman.
What does Ryan's last couple games look like here?
That's not even.
All right, Baltimore is a legit defense, so the fact that he put up 131-1 does not surprise me. They're at Green Bay. I think he can put up some nice yardage against Green Bay.
I would go Ryan just because.
Yeah, I'm starting Matt Ryan this week. Yeah. Out of those three options, I'm starting Matt Ryan this week. Ryan only tanked that one game, really. After the bye, they had a bye in week 8, week 9, 350-4, week 10, 330-2, week 11, 290-1, week 12, 377-2.
Yeah.
So, Baltimore aside,
right?
He's not been bad because they have to throw all the fucking time.
Yeah, they can't run. So,
and I think this game against Green Bay is going to be a little high scoring.
Might be a little nuts, yeah, because there's
a little nuts.
Nobody's holding back. Ain't nothing to hold back. It's the end of the year. That's what they say.
All right, Smash, we're going to get to your question as soon as we finish out the wide receivers here for the daily fantasy picks. I know you're not going to like this one, Josh.
I don't like this one, but you're right.
For 6,600, Amari Cooper against the Eagles is almost like, why wouldn't you do this?
I thought about it, and I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly can't pick the guy that's playing the Eagles.
No, I can't either.
But I think he has a real nice day.
I hope he doesn't, but yes.
No, I hope he does, because I hope he has a nice day. I hope it's nice. And I hope Ezekiel Elliott gets buried in the backyard.
He might. I don't know, man. I'm feeling this game. I'm a little excited for it. The great thing about this game is if they lose, that's it. We're done, right? Season's done.
Yeah, for sure. This game is everything. This game is the season.
This is you're going to go to the playoffs maybe, or you're done.
Yep.
It's the NFC East championship game, really, is what it is, right?
Yeah. I mean, we have to win this one because we're out of we still have to play the Rams,
right? Which is a loss, probably.
Which is probably a loss, and we still have to play Houston,
which could be a loss, even though we've never been beat by Houston.
We've never been, but Houston hasn't lost since week 3.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I don't know, man. Yeah, right? I don't know.
Yeah, but all right. So Amari Cooper at 6,600, I like, and of course, 4,900, Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
Look, man, the dude performs when it's time to perform.
Yeah.
All right, let's get all right. Smash, I said we'd get to your question next. Pick 3 RBs out of Mixon, Sony Michel, James White, and Jeff Wilson Jr. Ooh, now Wilson is an interesting one.
I don't know. I don't know Jeff Wilson.
Wilson is San Francisco.
Okay.
And Matt Breida is banged up.
Yeah.
So Wilson is a little interesting in an at Seattle matchup. Or they played Seattle last week. I'm sorry. He had 60 yards and 70 yards receiving. So he put up some solid numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I like him this week against Denver. If it's a full go for Wilson to be the number 1,
yeah,
I like him.
Yeah,
so there's your one. I would not play Sony Michel and James White.
No, that's not a good idea.
I would swap out one of those two.
I'd probably go Michel Mixon.
You take Michel, Mixon, and Wilson?
Wait, he said pick 3, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would take those, yeah.
So I'm inclined to agree.
James White, though.
Yeah, I know. He's had some just okay weeks.
Yeah, it's like who are you gonna get? Like what are you gonna, It's that New England shit where you're like, oh, it's just James White, and then he runs all over you.
Yeah, I would put Miami's defense more in line with Tennessee than I would Minnesota or the Jets. And Tennessee held James White in check.
Right. That's a good way to look at it.
So, I would lean more towards the banger and Michelle.
Yeah.
And Mixon and Wilson. Those are where I'm looking. And Daniel Johnson is back with another question. Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson?
You got to go with that regeneration water, bro.
Yeah. Of the two of those guys, yeah. I like Russ.
Russell Wilson, yeah.
Jameis Winston, they're playing New Orleans.
Anything can happen.
And Tampa Bay quarterbacks have been big money. But no, I like Wilson in this game at home against Minnesota for sure. Does he have a San Francisco-like game where he barely has to throw the ball and gets 4 touchdowns? No. But
that's not going to happen again, yeah.
But I like Wilson over Winston this week for sure. If you didn't have Russell Wilson and had some other guy, I would go Winston.
Sure.
But yeah. All right. On the tight end front for daily fantasy, Zach Ertz at 6,400. That seems like a fair price.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Burton, who has kind of vanished a little bit, at 3,400.
Yeah.
I think that's a good risk reward investment. And if you're, super hurting for a cheap guy, Rhett Ellison at 2,700.
CBS News is Rhett Ellison.
CBS News is Rhett Ellison. Chargers defense, 3,500. I like that matchup a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tennessee defense against Jacksonville, who is still playing Cody Kessler. So, Mike Vrabel's defenses have been pretty strong this year.
Yeah.
All right, so those were the daily fantasy picks brought to you by Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes, flushable wipes for any situation. Visit dudeproducts.com to learn more about the wipes and many other dude necessities.
I gotta go there and see. What is it? Can you read it to me again?
Dudeproducts.com.
Dude, I'm gonna just do it right now.
They have, some powders.
I need some powders. I need some good powders.
You need some aluminum-free talcum.
You don't want the aluminum in it. That's what gives you the nut cancer.
That's what I've heard.
It's not good for you.
All right. And the fantasy football challenge.
It's like 7 fantasy footballs.
This week was a down week for everybody.
It was a low scoring affair.
Except for one person, but
right.
They probably already know how well they did. But here we go. For Josh and Luke, Josh went with Baker Mayfield, Josh Adams, T.Y. Hilton, and Jimmy Graham because Mitch Trubisky was hurt. So we went with Baker Mayfield in that spot.
Yes.
Mayfield 13.9, Josh Adams 8.5. Darren Sproles stole his touchdown.
He did.
T.Y. Hilton 15.7 and Jimmy Graham 13. Josh got a total of 51.1.
Mm-hmm.
I had Dak, Chris Carson, Chris Godwin, and Gronk, who really let me down.
Yeah,
I think he let a lot of people down, but
yeah.
Dak with 14.1, Chris Carson 13.8, Chris Godwin 21.1. Whew, man, got that monster hiccups. And Gronk 5.6. That gave me 54.6. A narrow victory this week. Moving me to 9-4, and Josh to 4-9.
What a respectably terrible winning and loss percentage. It's terrible. It's like an F. That's like a super F.
Super F.
Double F.
That's like you didn't even get the double F. They just changed it from pass or fail, and they just gave you the straight fail. They're like, we can't even assign this a number grade. It's so bad.
I got an incomplete. It's so bad.
Incomplete. All right, to the listener teams: KJ, Case Keenum, Gus Edwards, Josh Dotson, and Gronk. Total of 32.8 points.
Mm-hmm.
Brooks had Dak, Rex Burkhead, Ty Hill, and Dan Arnold.
That's the first Rex Burkhead sighting I've seen in a while.
Yeah, and you know what? For 3.3, he gave 6.1, which is not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Brooks 30.2 points for the week.
That's a crazy call going with Tom Arnold's brother at tight end.
Hey, Arnold. TJ put all his money in the Pat Mahomes basket, and he got paid nicely for it. Pat Mahomes, Josh Adams, Amari Cooper, and Gerald Everett combined for 56.7 points, carried largely on the back of Pat Mahomes, 33.
That's a good.
Jads with the Green Bay Packers got 37.3. Grapefield with Lamar Jackson, Phil Lindsay at 5.4, gave him 28.9, which tremendous return on that investment.
I love it.
Calvin Ridley and Tyler Higbee, 54.5, which is good. Shamstron, Cam Newton, Spencer Ware, Robert Woods, and Mr. Lacoste.
Who's that?
Yeah, I had to seriously Google that guy. 46.3 points. And believe it or not, everybody.
Yeah.
Pigeon, who didn't remember to enter a team until Monday. So his only options were Monday night players. He went with Carson Wentz, Corey Clement, Golden Tate, and Zach Ertz, and scored 71 points.
He won. Oh, fucking! I hate this stupid game.
So Pigeon is your winner of the week, and
that's so funny.
And Grapefield. Oh no, I'm sorry. Grapefield did not. Pigeon and TJ both get wins over Josh and Luke. So the listener team win standings are now Pigeon in first place with 4, Grapefield and KJ tied for second with 3, Shamstron with 2, and Brooks with 1. Not mathematically eliminated yet, Brooks.
Not yet, Brooks.
And listener wins over Josh and Luke. Extremely tight.
This is crazy.
They're TJ, Grapefield, and Pigeon each have 5. Shams and Jads each have 4, and KJ and Brooks each have 3. So everybody is still very much in the hunt for the exclusive rookie card prize bundle.
Ooh.
So Josh, why don't we go ahead and talk about our teams for week 14?
They're very similar.
Yes, they are.
I'm going with Carson Wentz, a quarterback. I think Wentz is coming back. I think this game especially is going to be good for him. I'm going with Jalen Samuels at running back because they're going to run, and he's the only guy that's going to do it, and it's cheap as hell, and you're stupid not to pick him. Wide receiver, I'm going Chris Godwin because fuck it, he's great. And tight end, I'm going with Gronk. So hopefully Gronk. My theory is that since Tom Brady doesn't do well in Miami, that he'll throw to Gronk a lot to save himself because Gronk's always been his sort of security blanket. So,
okay. And maybe he has a rebound week this week.
Maybe he has a rebound week, yeah.
All right, I am going with Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Jalen Samuels at running back. And this is where our teams will differ.
Look at this.
I'm taking Traquan Smith at wide receiver.
Okay.
I just got a feeling about this New Orleans Tampa Bay game. I think Smith is going to come out real nice on this one.
Nice.
And at tight end, I put all my money into Zach Ertz this week. The last matchup against Dallas, he was great. I think this week he does break Witten's record.
How many does he need? He needs, no, he won't. He needs 18 catches or something like that.
No, he doesn't need that many.
It's not that many? How much is it? Did he end with 92 or did he not end with 92?
Hang on.
I would love to see it.
20. He has 93.
Yeah, so he needs
and the
70.
record is 110. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought for some reason I got it stuck in my head that the record was 102.
That's okay.
So I thought that was doable. Okay, so maybe he doesn't break the record this week. Regardless, I still like Zach Ertz in this matchup.
What if he did? Oh my god!
If he gets enough catches to break the fucking record this week, then there can't be any way Dallas wins that game.
There's no way.
I am very worried about this game.
Yeah,
Dallas's defense has completely turned itself around.
Yeah, but Dallas though,
I know. And Leighton Vander Esch is.
I don't think they're that good.
Jalen Smith is scary.
I don't think they're that good.
We'll find out.
I just don't think they're that good.
I think this week we will find out a lot about both teams.
I'm gonna. What is it? 4:25, right?
I think we're the 4 o'clock game because the then the Bear somebody better got flexed into prime time. But yeah, so those are our picks for this week. Don't forget to drop your picks in over on the Discord. $20,000 for positions. We use DraftKings pricing, ESPN standard PPR scoring.
Yep.
You know the deal by now, guys and girls.
Yep.
And that is the show this week.
Let's do the end of the show sponsor. Rite Aid brand NyQuil. The nighttime coughing, sniffling, sneezing so you can sleep medicine. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, come at me now, YouTube copyright infringers.
Wait, did we get a flag for this?
No.
Oh, God, that tastes like shit.
Good stuff. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next Wednesday with a new show.
Yeah.
For you. Good luck to your teams in the playoffs. And good luck if you're trying to qualify as well. It's been real. We'll see you on the flippity flop.
Bye-bye.